Like Adele, hello, I'm Charlie Carr.
And I'm Nala Thomas, and this is the Hightstown High School RAM Report.
On this report, a new program is changing the way students learn and teachers teach.
There's a new face in the athletic office. Good luck to Mr. Peto.
And Hightstown versus West Windsor North under the lights. We've got the scores.
All this and more in this fall edition of the RAM Report.
On this edition of the report, much has changed here at Hightstown since you last saw us. The old trailers have been replaced with state-of-the-art science labs, complete with new desks, plumbing, and gas lines. The way students submit work in not only those science rooms, but in most classes, has been totally reformed as well. Here's Shreya Shah explaining the Google Classroom.
In efforts to make strides towards a higher quality education, learning at Hightstown High School is rapidly transitioning from classrooms based on hard copy paper to revolving around a new website known as Google Classroom. History teacher Mr. Gary is already incorporating Google Classrooms in his everyday teaching lessons.
I've been using Google Classroom for about maybe 2 months now. Although it's been around for at least a year, it's still a rather new program, but it just wasn't available to us until the end of the summer. Network connectivity is always an issue, even before we had Chromebooks in Google Classroom, because we rely on the Wi-Fi services to run a lot of the computers and the smart boards and our Ergo cards.
English teacher Miss Chuk also utilizes Google Classroom, but remains hesitant to completely replace the old pen and paper.
I am concerned with Wi-Fi connectivity issues. It does take away from valuable classroom time. However, I haven't experienced anything major as of now.
The young freshmen of our school are enthusiastic for this change in their learning experience.
I do like Google Classrooms because of the lack of errors with the program.
I've used Google before, and I think it's pretty easy to use, although I know other people prefer to use the older system.
The seniors are more reluctant to change the way they're learning in Hightstown High School. After all, they have learned by pen and paper for the past 3 years.
I don't like Google Classrooms because it's so much easier to just use paper.
I've used Google Classrooms a couple of times. I can't really say I like it. It hasn't really impressed me.
What was quite interesting was that an outlier was found. One senior, Christian, was found to actually prefer Google Classrooms over the old pen and paper.
I would say I like Google Classroom because it's really convenient once you get used to it to submit your assignments to your teacher, and it has some pretty good environmental benefits rather than a teacher giving out a bunch of paper.
Because this is such a new application, I'm still learning the ins and outs of this program, but I'm sure that through time, this is definitely going to be a learning tool for students to use in the future.
Google Classroom is like an incoming freshman. Whether it becomes a mature senior, time will only tell. Regardless, let us hope that education at the Hightstown High School will continue to evolve. For the RAM Report, this has been Shreya Shah.
Thank you, Shreya. Google Classroom will certainly change the way students and teachers will interact.
It will, and I'm really interested to see how this program will mature.
The classrooms aren't the only things that have changed this year. When it comes to supporting our athletics, Hightstown has for the second year showed just how much school spirit we have with our in-school pep rally. The stands were packed with the Big 16, a very lit 17, good vibes from 18, and the also Big 19, as they welcomed their fall sports teams. Among those being welcomed was first-round draft pick athletic director James Peto. Covering Peto's first 3 months is reporter Zach Abriscato.
When I think of Peter, the first word that I think of is definitely determined. He's dedicated and he is very excited about what he has to do.
Charismatic, supportive, and dedicated.
Hardworking, dedicated, and passionate.
Mr. Peto is dedicated, fair, and compassionate.
Last spring, Gary Bruscelli retired from his lengthy career as athletic director at Hightstown High School. In his place is former physical education teacher James Peto, but we can just call him Jim. In his first 3 months, Mr. Peto has shown that he is dedicated to his new position.
This is a goal that I had set out for a long time ago. Somewhere I always thought that I wanted my career and kind of path to end up at. So I've been enjoying it immensely, and and I'm just taking it all in. You'd be in first year, first couple of months even. So I'm enjoying every moment.
As the fall season comes to a close, every change Mr. Peto has made has been noticed and appreciated by student athletes.
Since Peter has become the athletic director, I've definitely seen improvements in our equipment. which allows us to have better transitions from away games as well as home games.
He's been a lot more into it with our soccer team. He's given us nets when they broke. He's making sure we have turf time. We got new jerseys.
He's gotten more people to come out to our games by using social media and spreading the word.
With the fall season having 15 different teams with 15 different personalities, how does an athletic director work with all these competing demands?
As a coach, it goes year by year as you deal with different personalities. So just adding in more kids and things of that nature where I was a teacher as well has given me that background.
Perhaps no demand is more notoriously nettlesome than the use of the Hightstown's David J. McIntyre Field, otherwise known as the turf.
I've kind of instituted a little bit where on the weekends I communicate with the coaches. I send out a practice schedule so that everyone kind of has an idea when they can get on the turf for that week with, our games and everything.
We get the turf at least once to twice a week, if not more, counting games and everything. And it really helps us when we prepare for not only home games, but also away games.
We've had almost all of our practices and games on the turf, which is amazing.
Any athletic director can make a few scheduling changes and get some new equipment. What separates Mr. Peto from being just another AD is his passion for the students and treating them just like family.
The students are one of the main reasons I'm here, and I've always said that I have two families. I have the one that lives with me at home and then the one that lives with me in my school home. So when you hear things and you hear positive things from your kids that are in your school home, it's just as warming as you hear from your own home.
Mr. Peto is off to a promising start at his new position as AD here at Hightstown High School. How his future will shape here at the school remains unknown, but his first 3 months still show a fantastic future. I'm Zach Arbiscato of the Ram Report, signing off.
Thanks, Zach. It seems Peto has a lot of potential.
Speaking of potential, Hightstown's Model United Nation celebrated its first birthday by going to J.P. Stevens Model UN Conference. Our delegates took away multiple awards, including a prestigious Best Delegate Award earned by senior Chirayu Gupta. Good work, delegates. Also putting in the effort is our Hightstown football Rams. We have the inside story on their game against West Windsor Plainsboro North. Blue versus white. On October 9, 2015, the Hightstown Rams went up against the West Windsor Plainsboro North Knights to find out who deserved to wear these colors. We talked to Coach Ethan Jaros before the game about his opponents.
West Windsor North poses a challenge as far as their offense because they have a skilled quarterback who can throw and run.
To add to this game's challenge, star receiver Kieran Murphy is down and out.
We did lose a key cog in our passing attack with Kieran Murphy going down for the season.
However, team captain Tommy Nicola felt confident.
I really don't think they have too many strengths over us, but they got a good running back and a hell of a quarterback. But nothing our defense can't handle. We got Johnny Rosen at linebacker with Ethan Finger. Got a nice defensive line. Should shut it down.
Coach Jaros echoed the sentiments of his players.
I feel really good. I think we have a good game plan in place offensively and a good game plan on defense.
North started out strong with a 6-point lead before the rain even stopped. Hightstown fought hard but kept losing ground in the second half. And H-Town's concerns about North's key players were not unwarranted. But the Rams built up some momentum in the third quarter, enough to put some points on the board. Towards the end of the game, emotions were running high among players and coaches alike. After a long battle, the Knights walked away the victors, 8-44. The field is empty now as the Rams prepare for their next game. At David J. McIntyre Field, I'm Charlie Carr.
Good luck to our boys in blue and white with the rest of their season.
That's it for this edition of the Ram Report, and we'll see you again in a few months. Good night, and good luck, Rams.
There must be some kind of way out of here. Say the joker to the thief.